Hey, welcome to the OBLESS brainstorming. We got something a little different tonight. Like I said, the last couple of weeks, I want to hear everyone's idea. And some ideas are small, some are big. But I do have a few ladies on here that sent me an email. And I talked to, I'm going to say her name is Tarina. If I say it wrong, I apologize. So let me say a couple things before we get started. She's going to break down what her ideas are and her thoughts. And after she's done, we can ask questions. We can talk about it. It's kind of like what I want to do. Each week, I'm going to do something different just to keep it a little more, fun, I should say. As you see, our number is going down. So the true angels are here. I expect the number to go down every single week because I think sometimes people realize, do I really want this responsibility? All right. And that's okay with me. All right. Not everyone is meant to be an angel. Not everyone, maybe they just aren't that person that likes to give, but maybe does it in a silent way. And that's okay. But what I did, since my biggest brother, Mufareh, keeps trying to compare me to Mother Teresa or saying I'm going to be the next Mother Teresa. And boy, that's some really big shoes to fill. I take it as a very big compliment, but I also want to say to every one of you is all of us have that potential to be a Mother Teresa. Okay. I actually did some studying on Mother Teresa the last 2 days. I don't think Mother Teresa started out to be this big famous person she is today and this inspiration to, I think, everyone that's ever talked to her, listened to her, seen her on her films. She just, I think at the age of 12 years old, she decided to give her life to God. And what she really wanted to do was to help poor people. And she won awards, some of the highest prestigious awards in India, America, all over the world. And I got to believe at 12 years old, she wasn't thinking, someday someone's going to remember me. So I say, when you say one person cannot make a difference, I never believed that, because with that one young little girl who just wanted to help people and believed in the God above, went around and she conquered the world. She conquered the world in the best way you possibly can do it. I don't think she had any enemies. I think she was just so loved because she believed in everyone. She believed in everything, but she just wanted to help people out. And that's what OBLESS is all about. That's really, honestly, what OnPassive is all about. It's about helping every one of us, which in turn, we turn around and help other people. But see, we took it to a whole nother level. Mufareh said, oh no, we're different. We're unique. We're going to show the world what we really can do. So what did he do? This crazy, ugly guy, because I'm going to make fun of him too. Okay. He's really quite handsome, by the way. He came out with this thing called OBLESS, and it blew my head right off the shoulders here, because I'm thinking, wow, had no idea. I just heard the words OBLESS. Okay. What's OBLESS going to be? Listen, it's not a platform. I don't think it's a platform. I think it's another Mother Teresa, just a different name, but through millions of people. Okay. I think it's going to be the biggest blessing this world has ever seen through OnPassive. Okay. We already know what we have through OnPassive with all the great things that are part of OnPassive, but I'm going to stick with it. OBLESS is my favorite. Why? Because it's going to give me the opportunity to do something I've always wanted to do, but at a much bigger scale. Through all of you, every one of you lives somewhere different. We don't all live in Michigan. We have people all over the world, and each part of that world, they have problems, poverty, homelessness, people starving, kids running around with nothing in their bellies, no shoes. I mean, there's you could go on and on and on. So I know each individual, like I said, we got like 123 people here. I think that's pretty good. So I know I got 123 good souls right now that really, really care about humanity, getting out there and sharing what Mufareh really did design this for. I really, truly believe that was his goal. Business is business, but you all know what he said since you joined or since the last 3 years, that he doesn't really care about money. What he cares about is building people up, getting people to that success level that maybe none of us ever would have got to until we found OnPassive, and then getting out there and really helping people out, whether it's buying a meal for somebody. But he says, no, we got to do better than that. The guy himself, you all know, goes out and hands out food with his wife and children out of the blue with all the hours he works. But I also know many of you, 124 people now, are out there giving to people every single day, helping. Maybe you work with senior citizens, young children, a handicap. I know that a lot of you are doing it, and that's why you're here today, because maybe you understand a situation that is very hard, and maybe you needed help, and maybe you can now educate the world on your situation. So let me give you a few quotes before I hand this over to Rena. These are from Mother Teresa, and I'm going to just name a few of them. And this first one is very important to what Trina is going to say and Jane is going to say about what they're doing today, okay? This is a quote from Mother Teresa. Loneliness is the most terrible form of poverty. Say it in your head again with me. Loneliness is the most terrible form of poverty. Now, I think you got, now this is a woman. Now, I don't even know exactly when she said that quote, but see, she was living this since she was 12 years old. She didn't have houses, motorcycles, boats, cottages. All she's seen was, look at those kids. They have nothing. We got to do something for them. So I believe that's where she got it. That is a form of poverty. And part of what these ladies are going to talk about tonight is that. Like I said, it's a different way. How about this one? One of the greatest diseases let me say that again. I'm nervous. I don't know why. One of the greatest diseases is to be nobody to anybody. To be nobody to anybody. In other words, do you know how many people live in this world right now that maybe never even had a hug or a handshake or a hello or a good morning? Think about that next time you're walking down the street. Because you'd be amazed by just walking down the street and looking at someone and say good morning. It's going to turn their whole day around. You just don't know it. Try it. It works. I've done it a million times. And yes, sometimes I get people giving me dirty looks, but I know when they turn their head back, they probably said, man, that wasn't so bad. That was actually kind of nice. That's people. We can't control people. People just think different sometimes. Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. And I'm pretty sure that's what Mother Teresa did, but it was really, really great things that she did. All right. Remember, one little girl inspired the world. I don't know about you, but I got to believe Mother Teresa's heart, as much as the sourness that she saw through homeless people or kids dying of diseases, I'm going to believe that her heart was always happy because she knew she was doing the right thing. How many of us do the right thing all the time? Right? Then I could say right now, there ain't none of us here that are Mother Teresa. But I truly believe that beautiful woman who we called Mother Teresa always did the right thing. And she never thought about herself. I think that's one of our biggest problems as people today is we always think about ourselves, and that's normal and that's okay. But I don't think Mother Teresa ever thought about herself. I really think she thought about everyone. One more. And this goes to every one of you. Mother Teresa quote, give the world the best you have. It may never be enough. Give the world the best you've got anyway. So when you think you're not doing something good enough, you probably are, and that's okay. like I said, good morning, Willow. How you doing today? Honey, I love you. How about calling your neighbor you haven't seen? Like in Michigan, we kind of bundle up in our houses. Call your neighbor and just say hi, see how they're doing. I got an 86-year-old neighbor every single day. And I'm going to put her and Willow in the same room. And boy, are they going to talk, let me tell you. Because she's just like Willow, nonstop. But just think that's little things that we can all do to slowly change the world. Don't ever hate someone, and it's a powerful word, because the color of their skin or their religion or their gender. It does no good to hate. You guys see the history of the world, what hate has done to this world. And what did I say? Say yes to OBLESS. It's time we clean up the mess. And I see multicolored people on this screen that all care about one thing: changing this world for the better. So just keep thinking about that. All right, now I'm going to turn it over. Where are you, Tarina? Tarina, can you unmute yourself, please, so I can find you?
Yes, I'm here.
There you are. Everyone, this is Tarina Lovegrove.
Hello, everybody.
I had the pleasure of talking with her for a couple minutes yesterday. She had sent me an email what she wanted to do, and I played the devil's advocate with her. She'll tell you. And
yes,
I said,
you did.
Let's run with it, and let's just talk about it. It's a great thing. So everyone, this is Tarina. Give her a big round of applause. And Tarina, the floor is yours. If you need to share your screen, let us know. We'll walk you through that, Tarina.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. And this was an idea that I had, and I shared it with a couple of other founders, Jane Helms and Paulette Bryant. And we kind of worked on this concept for OBLESS. And it was really on the foundation, Chris, of what you were talking about, lifting up humanity. And at the same time, it was an idea of how can we unite? How can we unite as OnPassive and lift up humanity? And so that's kind of what I want to share with you now. Basically, it would be that we would have an OBLESS theme or task for the month. And we would post that in the calendar in the back office and on OnPassive.com. And we could have cards that we could print out or order online, like a business card size, that would say, have an OBLESS day with OnPassive. And that's kind of like the first step of the process. And the second part would be, once this got moving, is, you know, to be able to share that message in any media or anything that we might be doing. And that is not a requirement, but it is an option, of course. And then thirdly is to have people log into OnPassive.com and report back when they've completed their task for the month. And so we can keep an accurate count of how many tasks that were done that month. And we can use those in the marketing piece as well. So I just came up with some ideas, and these were just the starting point, and I will share my screen if I can here. Let me see. Just a minute.
If you need help, Tarina, just let us know. I'm sure Julie Wen can walk you right through it real quick.
Okay.
I'm here if you need to, Tarina.
Okay. I'm just pulling up what I needed. There we go. Okay, does everybody see that now?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. So we're calling this an OBLESS Acts of Kindness calendar. And these are some ideas that we came up with. They're not in any particular order. They are just some concepts that we thought of. How can we, as a family, lift humanity? And So I'll just run through a couple of these and talk about them a little bit. Of course, homelessness is a big movement with OnPassive, and so give a bag of food to a homeless person or a food pantry is one of the things on the list here. Number 7, give a gift basket to a first responder. And the point behind this is that, you know, Tarina doing one thing on her own, giving a gift basket to a first responder is nice. But what if you magnify that? And what if it's the OnPassive family giving a gift basket to a first responder? Then, you know, with the numbers of 1.3 million people, that's huge, the impact that we can make in the world. So there's a number of different things on this list. Find a single parent and offer a helping hand. You know, that could be buying groceries or paying a utility bill, babysitting, offering to do, provide an oil change, pay their rent if you're inclined to do so. Whatever it is was in your heart that you could do that month would be anything you could do to help a single parent. And after the end of the month, we would collect how many people did each thing. And that way we could say, you know what, we had 500,000 bags of food given out in the name of OnPassive. And on each one of these, we could have, we would collect that information and be able to say, tell that story that we were able to do that. So that's kind of the basic concept. And Jane, did you want to add anything to that?
Sorry, I couldn't get unmuted. Yeah, I think we went through all of this and just thought, you know, there's so many ways that things we can do. And just to pull together, like you said, is going to be absolutely so helpful, I think, to people around the world. And I think we can, you know, like we were talking last night about all of this, and like, you know, for the one, for example, about the single parent, you know, there's so many things that we could do to help, you know, and that's why we had put in there, buy groceries or pay a utility bill or something like that. There's so many ways we can help a single parent, you know, in many ways, or giving food to a homeless person. There's so many things that we could do, you know, and some people we realize some people may not feel comfortable going out on the street and handing a bag of groceries to a homeless person. And I know some areas are safer than others, but we could give the food to the food pantry. And, you know, that way we can still do whatever it is on the list to do and be blessings to many people. And, you know, it's like sometimes, you know, they're just the little things are just so important. Like, you know, Chris was saying, you know, sometimes you do the little things like Mother Teresa did. And by the way, I love those quotes, Chris. Thank you. Those were great.
Yes.
So, you know, and there's so many things that we can do. And I appreciate Tarina coming up with this idea. I think this is just so amazing. And, you know, it was so a lot of fun to actually brainstorm about this too. And, you know, and some of them are very simple, like hold someone's hand. You know, and like Chris was saying earlier, you know, just be smiling and be nice. I mean, I know I've had things, people turn around, you know, when, you know, they might have been cranky or something. I was like, oh, thank you for whatever it is, you know, if they're helping me in some way, thank you for taking the time to help me. Sometimes there's just little things that add up and make a big difference in someone's day, in someone's life. I often laugh, and I know I was just telling a guy the other day, I said, you got my Hero for the Day award. I said, it won't buy you a cup of coffee, but it's, you know, he just laughed. He says, well, thank you. You made my day. You know, so just little things like that sometimes can make the biggest difference. And so anyway, I just thought this was a great idea, having a calendar, you know, making, you know, each month a theme of something to do. and go from there. We can just expand on this so much, and it just would be almost like a fun thing to do, and adding to what OBLESS is. It's just, to me, is a springboard of the other things that OBLESS is going to be doing, and we can just encourage one another in all of this too, in helpfulness. So anyway, I'll shut up now.
And I also wanted to ask if Paulette was on, because she contributed too to this. Paulette, are you on?
I did not see her. I don't know.
Didn't see her. Okay, well, she was a major contributor to this too. So I just wanted to give her kudos and thanks for her help with that. And this is just a basic concept. We're open to how can we make this better? What ideas are out there that all the founders have that can help magnify this and take it to the next level?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, Tarina. That's what Tarina and I talked about yesterday. She sent me this list. I thought, pretty good. And like I said, I played the devil's advocate with her. And I did that because I wanted her to think harder than she was already thinking. And she thought about it, obviously, because we talk maybe 15 minutes, and I gave her some different ideas, but I said, let's run with this and let's see who else would be interested or likes. Listen, doing anything is better than doing nothing. One of my world's famous sayings. Okay. And remember this, there's many different forms of poverty. There's people, okay, let's use the single mom or the single dad that's raising 3 kids that has to work 3 jobs. To me, it's a form of poverty. What is he doing? All his time is going for these 3 jobs, taken away from his kids. To me, that's poverty. But then we could say there's 3 kids somewhere in this world who haven't eaten in 3 days. Okay, there's extreme poverty. So there's different levels of it. But all these beautiful things you wrote down do help make people smile. And listen, I'll be honest with you. When I was working my ungodly 120 hours a week, I had a boss and I said, hey man, you have a great day. To make him smile, he turned around and said, don't you ever tell me what to do. That's some people, And of course I laughed because I thought it was funny. He didn't think it was too funny, but that's people. You're going to know the right people. You're going to see people that might be so angry, but a simple few words might make them smile and completely change their attitude. So I like the calendar idea. I really like that. It shows progression of what you're doing. I got to believe you start this off in your community. You get this out. I'm not sure how many people live where you girls live, but you started somewhere. 3 of you got together and decided to write a list of nothing but love and compassion. So I commend you for it. Now, do you have anything else that you want to say, ladies? Anything you want to add to this?
No, just if there's any comments or questions from the founders, or any great ideas they'd like to add to it. I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, we were talking even last night. We added some last night that we don't even have on the list. Like helping an elderly person. I mean, there's people that are, single and they're elderly over 65 and there's things that they can't do. I just noticed on one of my list is called Next Door Neighbor. There were 2 young men that put on the Next Door Neighbor. They said, we just want to help someone, we're not going to ask for pay, but we just want to do something for people. And the responses they got so many responses, positive responses. And I was telling the girls last night about that. We live in 3 different areas in the country. I'm on the East Coast, Tarina's in Arizona, and then Paulette's in California. So we kind of hit the whole country with one thing or the other. So anyway, we were coming up with ideas to add to it last night, and I'm sure other people can too. And there might be something like we had on that about planting a tree, and then we realized, oh, there's going to be some people from UAE or other countries in the world, and they may not be able to plant a tree, or they only have sand. So, with some of these things we had to rethink, and I'm sure we're going to have to do that, tweak it and stuff. But, like, if we could just all get together and do this, I think it's just going to be so positive. It's like, OnPassive is going to change lives for sure. So, this is just another springboard to do it.
Absolutely, Jane. Trina, if you want to take your share screen down and bring it back to the gallery. We'll see, I thought I seen a couple hands here. Gladys, do you have anything you want to add to that? Please unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you so much, Chris, and for Trina for showing up this list. It's very impressive. But what I can say that Ash has always told us, you don't need to wait until you have to start to give. Most of the time when it comes to giving, it's natural for some people and many people to think of money. But looking at this list, it's a reminder that we all have something to give. And this is something to help us at least to start from something. If you don't have money to give, as I saw here on the list, you can put a smile on somebody's face. Buying a book for somebody, helping an elderly person, buying books for students. Can you imagine what a difference we can make in children's life? If, for example, you can go to your local school and find out if there is an orphan who is not able to pay school fees. Because we have situations where children go to school, they go for 9th grade, usually high school is the one which is difficult, especially in countries where school fees is paid or tuition is paid. They go to high school, 9th and 10th grade, and they drop out of school because they don't have tuition. So these are some of the things that we can step in and do. I just wanted to bring that to our attention, that we all have something to give and we can start from where we are. Thank you so much for that list. I love it, and I would love to get a copy. It can make it a lifestyle, A few times I've received, someone has bought me a Dunkin' Donut when I'm lining. I've had my cup of coffee paid by someone I don't know. So what I do, I also pay it forward. We have so many ways that we can do it. Thank you so much, Trina. Get to me that copy, and I would love to be part of your, that movement. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Trina, if you want, you could private message Gladys your email, and you could send it to her. She can send it to you in private message. That's how you guys want to connect. Great. Gladys, thank you very much for your valuable input. I love it. And we now have the Energizer Bunny. Willow Griffith, please unmute yourself, please.
I just think that was a tremendous idea, Trina. My daughter's church, I have to brag about my daughter a little bit. She's retired now, and what she does is they do in the church, they do a similar thing to you, your idea, but she goes to the elderly members of their congregation, and on Sunday mornings, instead of going to service, she takes Holy Communion to all of the shut-ins that cannot get out. And she has met these lovely, gentle, frail human beings that she means the world to, because she visits them every week. I think she has about 15 or 20 that she takes Holy Communion to, but they are starting something in her church. That's why I can hardly wait for O Connect, because it's going to be so great for churches to organize their missionary work, using O Connect. But I think that this is really something we can run with and get a start in our own communities. I know I thought I could not do anything because I'm old, Well, online, I have reached so many people. It's unbelievable. I have 1,552 people on my list on Blog Talk Radio. that converse with me through emails and all of that, even after I don't do Blog Talk Radio anymore. So you can touch people's hearts, even if you don't have the strength and body to go out on the street. Don't limit yourself, I guess is what I'm saying, Chris. We all got a part we can play. And this is beautiful. You know, even if it's, I think one of the things that touches me are our founder leader, Viviana Rodriguez, is an example of, she's up against it all the time because she cares for 2 elderly members of her family. And she can't even go and get her hair done. You know, if you could go in and say, hey, Vivi, I'm coming for today, and I'm going to sit with your mother. You go get a spa and get your hair fixed and hand her an envelope and say, this is from OBLESS. Don't you? Oh my God, just one day or an afternoon away from that kind of work would be unbelievably helpful. So that's all I have to say. But I think that we're a terrific group, and you're terrific for coming up with this list, because we can expound on this list.
Expand on it.
Yeah. So thank you, darling. I think you did a great job, you and Jane. I was expecting lots of great things out of Jane when I first met her, but I think this is really wonderful. So you got my vote, child.
Thank
Follow
you.
me.
You Willow, my young girlfriend there. Hey, by the way, if you guys know Pam Turner, today is her 71st birthday. Give her a shout out on Facebook, because she'll hate me in the morning, but she'll love me today. All right, Willow, thank you very much. Della, please unmute yourself, please.
Buddy, okay. Hi.
I can hear you.
Oh my God. You make me cry, buddy. May I mention you when I tell this? May I mention you? Okay, as really got the diamond. Chris Johnson is the best man. It's not because I know him. I just feel him when I saw him first time in a webinar in Maui, in Julian Maui show. And I don't know why I really like him that much. I don't know him. It was my first time seeing him, and I wonder why I really like him. So us really got the right person. He is like Mother Teresa. And Mother Teresa is my #1 fan ever when I was still young. I know him very well. I know her very well. Her. And she is my inspiration to really serve my young adults back in the Philippines. And one attitude that I like her is she has no fears. She really has everyone, especially the sick, even the contagious sick, contagious people. That's how it really touches my heart. That's why she was so healthy in mind and body, even when she was old. Didn't even get sick when the first time for how many years, and we have all this leprosy, everything, everyone. So it was she is really my inspiration. And when my doctor diagnosed that I can't have baby because of my reproductive organ, Mother Teresa is my inspiration. And God gave me 4 kids, and it was amazing. I don't even have medicine for that. And it's just that, I mean, yeah, it's really true that when you really give from your heart, and now thinking of receiving that, it will flow. The love in your heart overflow, and it cured me. And I have four kids, very healthy kids, because of Mother Teresa. She's an inspiration. And when, as Mufareh was mentioning about her, I can't really stop crying. And This is my journey in OnPassive. It's so beautiful. And I get to know Chris. 2020 was really struggle of my life. And I had a big problem. I was evicted with in my apartment because I was divorced at the time, 2020. There's a lot of problems I had. And when I saw Chris, it's just that I called him right away. I really called him and I asked help from him, and he gave me time. 2 hours, I think, buddy. So I don't know him. I like him and I love him not because he's famous. I just like him the first time that I saw him. His vibration is so pure. It's really pure, really pure. And I thank Mufareh for choosing him because OBLESS is my life. I'm gonna tour around the world to really have the poorest children. I have my own children back home. They're already big, of course. They're abandoned children. I was in my early 20s. And now I'm 58, so they're all grown up. And we have this Facebook messenger group. They make me happy all the time because they always remember what I did to them. And this Tarina, what's your name, Kim? This is Tarina. That is so beautiful. The ideas I've done that to all the kids, the poorest children in my country. And as Mufareh give me this dream, a huge dream to around the world. India is my favorite too, and Africa. So I'm gonna do this and build the OBLESS. I want to conquer that in my country. So I'm overwhelmed, really. Actually, I have this imagination when I imagine and think about hugging those abandoned kids, and even if they're dirty, it makes me feel so good. I'm very happy around them. I don't care about whatever I don't have. It makes me happy being with them. Buddy, continue
Della.
doing it. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you for the kind words, Della. And I know you have a really good heart. Just keep doing what you're doing, young lady. Thank you for intervening here. You have anything you want to say to Tarina before you go away?
Did you ask me or somebody?
Do you have anything you want to say to Tarina and Jane before you leave?
Oh yeah, Serena and Jane, oh, you're so beautiful. You have a beautiful heart. And I love you all. I feel the love in your heart, but I feel that there is just issues around us, all of us. Yeah, all of us. I have lots of issues. 2020, I got married 20 years and I was divorced. I love my husband. I love my family, but it's just that I feel all of us have issues, but no, it cannot block us to bless everyone. I love us Mufareh so much and his family. He is the one who will gonna bring us to our huge dream to really bless each one of us. But we have to bless our own life first. Okay, we have to love ourselves. Loving ourselves, taking care of ourselves, eat good, sleep good, just feel good, and we can bless all the poorest children of the whole world. Karina, thank you. Jane, I love you. You're so beautiful inside and out. Thank you. And have Mark for me. Thank you. Thank you all. I love you all. I know all of you here. I know all of you. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
Thank you, Della, very much. Okay, we got.
Hey, Chris, this is Paulette.
Hi, Paul. There you are. How you doing?
I had to figure out this computer again. It messed up on me. So I'm sorry I'm a little late. I was listening to everything, but I was not able to actually connect you. And as you can see, it says Martha Bryant up there. That's my first name. But I work with Trina and Jane on a lot of projects. And when we put our heads together for this particular one, we were so excited and so grateful that we had been given this opportunity to present this to our founder friends. And we want to encourage everyone to really pray about this. And if this is what they want to do, we'll have the calendar up there and it will very simply explain everything for each month as Trina explained. And we want to move forward on this as soon as we get the go ahead. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you for joining us, Martha Bryant.
See you later. I'm still
All
here.
right. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Mr. William DeLorme, can you unmute yourself, please?
Hello, Chris.
Hi, buddy.
Oh, thank you.
I
thank
have
you.
a few ideas. I'm in the process of recovering from COVID. I lost my balance. I'm in a wheelchair. So I had to find organizations, and there's one at the school. It's called Bag Half Full, and they will do some shopping for you at, say, Walmart or Shoppers Drug Mart, things of those places. I think that's really helpful to people who cannot shop.
Hmm.
And I think it's a really good idea. How I pay them is through email. They give me the bill and I transfer the money to them through the email. And I think that's easy. And plus, there's organizations like I had a test here from people for COVID, and I said, I don't want that again. I said, and they actually bring me some food like apples and oranges and fresh vegetables, like I can make a salad and stuff like once a week. So I would like to help those organizations out. So I will be able to do that, and OBLESS will help that, I believe. So I think those are really good organizations because people really do need that kind of help.
Absolutely, William. I love it. You made me think about something real quick. Number one, senior citizens are some of the most forgot about people, and that's just a darn shame. You know what I went through. I know what my sister, Robin Noble, Susie McCrae, and many of you that take care of your parents. All right. Well, number one, there's thousands and thousands of people over the age of 80 or even 90 that live by themselves and have no family. Those are the people that really need OBLESS. And by stopping by, my neighbor behind me is 96 years old, lives by himself. My neighbor over there, 86 years old, lives by herself. I do a lot of talking on a daily basis. But what worries me is when you don't see them. All right. Say hi to your neighbor. And I thought of another thing. Now, you guys heard me say that I will be going from gas station to gas station, and maybe, I don't want to say lower class neighborhoods, maybe neighborhoods that ain't as pretty as someone else's. And I want to fill people's gas tanks up. All right. That's one thing I have giving back to. I know what gas is now over in Michigan. It's $4.26 a gallon. So if someone's making $12 an hour right now, all right, pretty much their whole check goes in their gas tank to get to work. But I thought of something really important, and I've witnessed this myself. CVS we have here, it's a pharmacy store. And I can remember multiple times standing in line maybe to get a prescription. And there was always either a senior citizen or a struggling mom or a struggling dad saying, I need this. Can you tell me how much it is? And then I just see them shake their head and walk out because it was an ungodly amount of money. Wouldn't you like to be that person? I would give up many days a week just to sit down by that pharmacy and wait for that individual to come along, the senior citizen or the young mom or dad or struggling anybody, and say, hey, I can help you. Can you imagine if all of us did that? We can add this to this calendar these ladies have built. How many of you out there need prescription drugs and maybe you have good insurance? How many people have seen people saying, the pharmacy, ma'am, but your insurance doesn't cover this. It's going to be about $400 for this little bottle of pills. And they really need those bottle of pills. What do? They don't have it. They got to walk out of there. Man, that's a shame. So think about that one. Add that to your I want to help somebody list. Poverty just isn't in the streets, it's in homes. And it's normally by lonely people or people just don't have it, didn't get a break. Maybe had to pay for a funeral that was someone very close to them and it took everything they had. So think about those people. You can help anybody in a grocery store, a gas station. Give someone $5-10 on the corner. But we forget about the things. And William made me think about that. How many people stand? Next time you got to go to the pharmacy, just hang around for an hour, just for the heck of it. Give an hour of your time just to realize that maybe we're not so bad off. We're the lucky ones if you think about it. When I see a person that can't afford a medication that they really need, we got to change that, folks. And I believe through OnPassive with Mufareh and the doctors and OBLESS, I really think we could change that. So just another thought to throw in your head. William, thank you very much, my brother. My brother, Clint Eastwood, Bruce Gerstein, go ahead and unmute yourself, sir.
Thank you, Chris, for talking to me.
I'm talking to you.
Thank you so much, Janica and Jane, for your very thoughtful recommendations. One thing I missed down there, because I'll tell you a story. I was speaking to about 1,000 people in a meeting up in France. And many people were not happy. They were kind of scowling. And so I said to them before I started, I said, I'm going to do something different. I want you all to stand up and follow my instructions. And I said, I want you to look at each other and one of you say to the other, I am a miracle. And then the other one say, I am a miracle too. And then hug each other. And you know how much laughter and smiles came from just that one motion? It was amazing. The reason I say that is because on the list that you gave me, I thought, and I wrote to Janisha, hug everyone who wants a hug. Because hugs, all of this list is about hugs. Kindness is about hugging someone in one form or another. When you give somebody a meal, you hug them. When you've sat down and listened to them, you've hugged them. When you got to know them, you've hugged them. One exercise I was given many years ago was go into a park and walk up to a stranger you don't even know and break bread with them. And do not only break bread with them, but learn some things about them. Learn their name, where they're from, what they do, how many children they have, if they have children, so that they feel important. Because many times, OBLESS is the one thing, you know, if you think about it in biblical terms, one of the deepest things that we are to do is love thy neighbor as yourself. So when we do that, we bless ourselves and we bless another person. So all those things, getting to know somebody that way. I remember I was in Hawaii, I sat down with a woman on a bench and she told me her heart. She goes, I don't know why I'm talking to you like this. I've never talked to anybody like this. And I smiled because I said, because you know I'm safe with you. You're safe with me. And this is about giving people a place of safety. The thing of humanity is giving people safety. One thing that Chris had said before, you know, Mother Teresa wasn't planning on becoming Mother Teresa. She just wanted to do good things for people who are in need. It doesn't matter how many things you do. If you do one thing, one kind thing a day, you'll be blessed. It's like the story of the starfish that Ash told us. He added something to that I never heard before. Because it said, usually there's 1,000 surfers on the beach, and one man throws one back, and the man next to him said, what difference does it make? And he smiles and he says, it will make a difference to that one. But I said, and then the ocean came in and blew all of the surfers back into the ocean, which I thought was so beautiful, because by God's grace, we're all drawn back into the ocean. This ocean called love, this ocean we call OnPassive here. So anytime that we can do any kind of things that we can, if you do an inventory at the end of the day, which this checklist is about, were you kind to somebody? Did you listen to somebody? Did you break bread with somebody? Did you share your heart? Did you take someone to the grocery store if they needed a ride? All those little things add up, all of them. It doesn't matter whether they're old or young, because babies cry and old people cry, and we all need to be held. So a hug is one of the most important things we can ever do in our lives. I hug everybody, and people say, my God, you can't leave a room. My girlfriend used to get upset. How many people do you have to hug before we say goodbye? I said, as many as want one. And so that's what I do. Sometimes there's 100 people I give a hug. But you know what? Hugs fill me up. Hugs fill me up. And kindness fills me up. And OBLESS fills me up. And you guys fill me up, because you're all beautiful. You're all perfect in every way. You know, even if you think you're not doing things perfectly, that's exactly how you need to do them at that time. There's never a time we're never doing something in the most perfect way for ourselves. So what I can say to everyone who is our wonderful ageless angel, and Julie, who's our Jubal, and Julie Peacock, and Chris, who is our bubbly Chris, Captain Chris, and Tina, who gives us joy, and Pat, every one of you has so many things to give. And there's never think that always, don't ever say never. Always say, I am something. I am perfect. I am God's magnificent child. I am God's miracle. You know, if we say those things every day, what a world this is. When I think about OnPassive as a whole, not only is it a paradigm shift in technology, it's a spiritual paradigm shift that we're bringing to the world. We didn't know that when we started, but that's where we came to, and it's an amazing blessing that we have. So anyway, I'm going to keep quiet, because I try to keep my speaking. I try to be considerate and speak as short as I can, with as much impact as God allows me to give. Namaste. Thank you all.
Thank you, Bruce. Gotta love you, man. I'm glad you're feeling better. I know hugs, I'm a hugger too. Hugs do make the world go around too. So appreciate your beautiful words, Bruce. All righty, we have Marcine. Can you please unmute yourself, my beautiful sister?
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Tarina, and all the ladies for the great presentation. That was so wonderful. And it's always good to work when you have a program and a plan. And I really love it. And, you know, I'm gonna talk about the elderly people. And that part is something that I'm very passionate, because one, that's my profession. I'm a caregiver by profession, a nurse assistant by profession, though I do that basically every day, every single day. That's what I do. So, and those people, like Chris said, are those that currently we forgot about them every time. We don't remember, but a lot of them, even in the nursing home, they have days that nobody come to say something to them, to even speak with them. They don't have anybody. Some of them, they are there, they are completely forgetting. There's nobody to take care of them or to even pass by their room to say good morning to them. So if we really have a program that will volunteer our time to go to those nursing homes where we already have them, because we are not trying to invent anything, it's there. The place that they are, and we look for them there just to put a smile on their face. Maybe why not giving them a good shower? Because some of them, I know, sometimes they just abandon, particularly those that they are in the place that is not well appropriate or a less paid place. So they just attend to them once by chance, most of the time. We have to be honest. So those are our parents. Those are our loved ones. Those are the people that bring us to this world, and they did not deserve nothing to be there. Sometimes they are just there because there was nobody to do what they have to do. And they can't talk, they can't speak. That's why I say every time, I take myself like I am the eye, the ear, the foot, the hand of those that they cannot do. I speak for them. I'm their voice. So if you have people that they can join together, and every time we have to volunteer some of our times, one hour maybe a week, 1 hour maybe a day, why not every 2-3 days? And we have a group that will go to the different nursing home, particularly, and look at those people that they are already there and just try to look for the ones that they don't have nobody and sit with them in their room. Just sit with them, and you are going to be amazed what you will see from their faces. You're going to be so amazed the kind of thank you and the blessing that they will give you. You know, coming from Africa, I believe that the blessing whoever give you your blessing is doesn't supposed to be your originally parent, because anybody that is already older than you can bless you for anything. Even a little child can bless you. You can have your blessing from everywhere. So it's something that I'm really passionate about, and I thank you guys for bringing this up. Put me in the line, please. Let me know. I'm in Houston, Texas. And if we have some founder in Houston, Texas that want to do the same, we can come up and go to different places and do the same thing. It doesn't matter. I work 24 hours. I will always have a time for that. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcine. Absolutely correct. When I was a kid, through my church, we used to go visit older folks' homes or places where people went when they were a little older, I guess, and it wasn't always pleasant. It wasn't always pleasant to see the conditions. I really hope through OBLESS that we can fix those conditions to make them better, because all those people that are in those homes, some of them not by choice, are the ones that raised us, took care of us, worked 3 jobs. Think about that. It's not, sometimes some of these people end up in these homes just because they don't have anybody. But wouldn't it be nice just to have a friend to talk to once in a while? You'd be amazed at some of the stories that someone over their 80s can really spark a conversation, because, I mean, you all know Willow. She's 21 years young, and she could probably teach us a lot of things just through her life. So don't be afraid to go visit an old folks home. It's actually kind of nice. All right. Virginia Dite, please unmute yourself. Marcine, thank you very much. Virginia.
Hello, everyone. I'm sorry, my photo, I can't load my photo. I'm told that there's a problem that I have to go into settings and have a look and see what it is. But what I wanted to say is I really love the idea of the calendar with all those good deeds we can do. And there's something that I've been doing where I live. There are a lot of elderly folk who need nursing care and medical help. And also a lot of folks are on, oh, sorry, my dog's just about to pull everything apart. Oh, Brandy, can't get, okay. Right, sorry. Yeah, a lot of these people who are elderly and can't cook for themselves, they get something that we call Meals on Wheels, that are meals cooked in bulk by volunteers, but they're all much the same every day. So what I do is when I have a big cook up, I cook extra, maybe a casserole or a stew or baked dinner, and I take meals to these people who just live on Meals on Wheels or frozen meals because they can't cook for themselves. And I think a hot, freshly made, homemade meal is always good for them. And also, if they need wound care, I do that. And if someone needs someone to sleep overnight with them because they don't feel unsafe or they've been in hospital and have just come home and they need someone to be with them, I will do that. And I did that recently for a lady who came home from hospital. She's a neighbour and a lovely person, and she needed me for 10 days because she couldn't get up out of bed herself. She couldn't bathe herself or cook. So I did all of that, and I loved doing that. It made me feel good. And so I'm going to be having a big cook up tomorrow, and I'll be taking freshly made meals to people who receive just Meals on Wheels, which are not very tasty, and they serve too much and these people can't eat all of the food. So I give them a serving that they can manage, and they really love that. And they tell me that I'm a good cook, which I don't know. And also they have dogs. A lot of these people have pets. And when they are sick and can't walk their pet, I will walk their pet for them because my dog loves all of the pets in the village, or mostly all of them. So that's two things that I do, and I like to do that. So thanks for listening to me.
Thank you, Virginia. Yep, animals are important. I'm a dog lover. Thanks for your wonderful words, Virginia. Keep up the good work. Yeah, you can never, I miss a lot of home cooked meals. Home cooked meal can actually change someone's life around too. Just to bring your neighbor or a friend dinner and sit down and have dinner with them. That's a great idea. Virginia, thank you very much.
You're welcome. No, I'll keep on doing that. And also, they like company for morning tea. So if I'm walking past their place at morning tea time, I'll pop in and sit with them for about half an hour and take their dog for a walk or do something for them in the house. But you're right, Chris, homemade meals are just the best.
Yes,
and I'll keep on doing that.
Keep up the great work, Virginia.
I will. And thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thanks, Virginia. All right, I got a guy I haven't seen in a couple of weeks because I know he's been working his brains off. Mr. Key Wendo, unmute yourself, please.
Hey, Chris, thanks. Can everybody hear me?
Oh, yeah.
It's good to see all your familiar faces. Some are new to me, but great ideas, everybody. I think we know who amongst OnPassive has a heart of giving because you guys show up to Chris's webinars regularly. You know, healthcare and giving and doing and things I've got a vast experience in. And I'm going to share a couple quick stories with you guys. And Chris, if I go long, just give me the axe handle. But I established a scholarship 30 years ago. And I just want to share this with you guys because I hope some of you get to experience this. I got real close with a cystic fibrosis kid when I first started training in my respiratory career. And his name was Kenny Blanks. And ultimately, Kenny ended up passing away. Well, when Kenny passed, the medical center that I was at It was a fairly young medical center, and the hospital wanted something like $10,000 to put his name on a plaque and to hang that at up in the children's ward because everybody knew Kenny. I'm like, guys, this is ridiculous. I said, we're going to put $10,000 into a sign to go on a wall in 5 years. They're going to walk by it and they're not even going to know it. So I went to the hospital foundation and I said, look, I said, we're going to take this money that we've raised and we want the hospital foundation to invest it. And then we want to give a scholarship, and we're going to give a scholarship to a respiratory therapy student in Kenny Blank's name. And it was the Kenny Blank's Memorial Scholarship that I established 30 years ago. I left the university real quick after setting that up, and I started traveling, and that's when I went to the Caribbean. But I share that with you because I'm back in Eastern North Carolina, and I can't tell you how many therapists that I've worked with that now have 10, 15, 20 years experience. And they bring up that they received the Kenny Blank's Memorial Scholarship. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. I said, but have you ever seen a picture of Kenny? No, they didn't have a clue. I've got pictures here at my house and I need to get them to the medical center. So when they give that scholarship to the students, that they actually get to see who he was, who he looked like. But I share that with you because I didn't get a dime out of doing that. And I didn't want a dime out of doing it, but I have met people that Kenny's touched their life through receiving that scholarship. And they went on to become respiratory therapists. And it's just a really, really good feeling. I'll share with you guys some of my ideas. I'm a big veterans fan. I support veterans. I'm an Air Force brat. And if some of you don't understand what that term means, it means I'm the son of an Air Force fighter pilot. I support some of those charities. I've done Oktoberfest and raised tens of thousands of dollars. And I chose the Air Warrior Courage Foundation. And why did I choose that? They have a #1 rating with Charity Watcher. They're a C3 or a 503C charitable deduction. And I think whatever we get involved in supporting, I think it would be important for Chris and other leaders to look at what's best for the company, and getting that 503C tax write-off is important. So there's a lot of things out there, Towers for Tunnel, Air Warrior Courage Foundation, but I'm a big fan of Gary Sinise, who does a lot of work for building homes. And he has built homes in the Fayetteville area of North Carolina for veterans that have lost limbs, and they made them really smart homes. But there's some wonderful, wonderful organizations. And I think, we can get organized and support some of those as well, as long as and that's one thing about Air Warrior Courage Foundation. They don't take any money. It's run by veterans, and they provide all the administrative side of it, which is like OBLESS. We're not going to take any funds to run OBLESS. And I just think it's important for us to be careful with who we support and be smart. And I know we will, with Chris and Marty and everybody's leadership. But it's good to see you guys. Yeah, I have been working crazy hours. On the good side of that, COVID deaths are down significantly. And I think we're finally coming out on the other side of this. So good to see everybody. I'm going to turn it back over to you, Chris. Thanks for letting me speak.
Thank you, Key Wendell. That's actually some really nice news to hear at the end there. I know you do a lot, and we thank you for it. We also thank you for your father. Again, another great cause that's #1 on my list also is homeless veterans, but you can see Key is involved in a lot of that stuff. So Key, looking forward to working with you on those projects. I appreciate you, brother. Okay, now we got the one and only, the most handsome guy I know. No, it's not you, Marty. Engineer Mike, go ahead, unmute yourself, brother.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, my leaders all around the globe. Thank you for this very significant day. So I got an acronym for all what our ladies, Darina, Jane, Mr. Brian have been saying. The acronym is SLA, Chris, SLA. S for statistics, L for logistics, and A for accountability. So if we look at what we're talking from the list that they put up there, SLA, S for statistics, L for logistics, and A for accountability. We'll see that that is what they have been telling us. So I want to applaud them for all what they have been doing. Kudos to them. Thank you for bringing that up for us, because we can use this now as a preamble or a working document or a guide for us to push forward. Now, looking at it again, we are going now, this document will help us to work in regions, to work in countries. So all of these statistics, the SLA will fall in place with everything that they've listed there. Thank you people very much for a very serious and hard work that you've done, because this will help us go forward. It will be like a preamble, it will be like a working document and a guide that we can develop to more stuff as we go along. Thank you very much. That's all I have to say, Chris. Thank you.
Michael, thank you. Michael, do you want to write that in the chat?
Yes, sir.
LA, which is, let me get this if I got it right, statistics,
yes,
logistics, and accountability. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That is it. I'll write it in this chat.
So you can teach an old dog new tricks, Mike. Appreciate you, Mike. Thanks for all you do, my brother. All right, now we got someone that's real close to my heart. You all are, but this lady's got a special touch. Tina, please unmute yourself. My beautiful sister from Singapore.
Hello, everyone. Hello, world. Hello, OBLESS, all from all over the world. I'm from tiny Singapore, and we've got so much to do, isn't it? Exactly what Ash told Chris. We got a lot of work to do, and yes, but with the OBLESS that's here, I'm sure everyone who needs us out there will definitely be blessed by us too. I would have to say alhamdulillah to that. Trina, Tarina, and Jane, I was on and off earlier when you were sharing, but I just love even the simplest thing about giving out stickers and giving out little handouts to people who need them in our everyday life is super, super terrific. Because imagine if we were to just give a cup of coffee to someone in anywhere in the world, us giving the movement itself, it's the compounding effect would so definitely be awesome. And Bruce got me just now when he said the two beautiful words, I am. I am is a very strong and powerful word. I was too emotional just now to get off the listen, because I've not shared this with anyone here, I think, except for Chris. But I know that I have a mission to millions to give, to go mad. Go mad is my acronym for give to others and make a difference. So that has been my movement, personal movement, since I came back to life at the age of 15. I was a flatliner actually for some time, and I've been asking myself, why is it that I'm back? So I've been searching and searching, and I think, I know that OBLESS is my mission to millions, and the reason why I'm here. And I'm so ever grateful to our CEO, Mufareh. I told him at Dubai, the Ayat Dubai, saying that he's my hero. He's my hero because he has given us OBLESS. And Chris is my hero because he's heading this movement, making us all Mother Teresa's in our own aspect, in our own little world where we are. And that's what I'm doing. Singapore, if you don't know, is not a part of China. That's what a lot of people in the world think, that Singapore is a part of China. But we are a tiny city-state, and I'm really, really proud to say that we're really have a good government who's also been supporting all of the NGOs here, giving structures to them, and making sure that the underprivileged are also taken care of. We have an annual President's Challenge charity, which every one of the our NGOs come up with their own things that need to do, that they can do to get charity for the NGOs here in Singapore. And Gladys, that little coffee that someone gave to you, it's in a lot of our coffee outlets by the tiny ones, not the big names, but the small and medium companies, SMEs that does that. We also have meals by an NGO called Willing Hearts. And I think those who have traveled to Singapore, especially in the military key, just to let you know, we do have a naval attachment in Singapore here, and our the military guys actually goes to the kitchen to help cook the meals for the people who are not who are underprivileged, and especially so during the COVID, when we had our lockdown, they were cooking meals, and people were sending out meals to those who are affected and those who are who cannot move because of the restrictions to spreading. So I am a miracle. Thank you, Bruce, for reminding that. We are all miracles because we are here in the world. The Creator has made us to be here to do something for the rest of us who are not as blessed as us. We are all blessed, but yeah, there are people who need us. Thank you so much for this, Chris. I'm getting emotional, and I don't want to be that. So thank you very much. Yes, I'm here all out. I'll look up for the calendar, Trina and Jane. Let's go. Go mad.
You're definitely one crazy lady that I love, because your madness is going to help a lot of people, Tina. I appreciate your big heart. For a little lady, let me tell you, she's 19 feet tall with that heart she's got inside her. Tina, once again, thank you very much. All right. And it's okay to cry. It feels good sometimes, believe it or not. Jennifer Dickinson, please unmute yourself, young lady.
Hi, thanks, Chris. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to touch on what we were talking about earlier with loneliness, and how that's just a very, very dangerous place for people to be. And I guess, you know, as a child, I used to get bullied a lot and was left out a lot of things. And so I, you know, felt loneliness a lot. And I made it a mission as I got into my adult years to make sure that nobody was ever lonely, left out. You know, if I ever saw someone sitting by themselves, I would go sit with them. And, you know, and it just, you know, and I taught my children to do the same thing. But as this kind of, I guess, goes into with seniors, my mom was suffering from dementia, and she was in a home where they looked after her. And I would go there, you know, all the time. And I noticed there was always people, always, you know, ladies and gentlemen sitting there by themselves, and, you know, the same people, nobody was ever there for them. And, you know, and I know the nursing staff are busy, but, you know, a lot of times the people were just kind of propped up in front of the TV, watching TV, and left to themselves. And so I would, you know, go talk to them and stuff. And bring them flowers on just random days or do something, bring a batch of cookies in for them or, any little thing like that. But I guess this gets to the point where during COVID, when they kept locking down the nursing homes and, we would be locked out for like months at a time. And then I'd go back and I really noticed the difference in everybody, like how bad they got over that time. They just, their mental state was diminished. They were just, shells of themselves. And as, it got worse and worse. And, my mom did pass away from COVID last September. Well, actually, sorry, she didn't pass away from COVID. She passed away from dementia, from basically she was starving to death. But she was in the lockdown and COVID had hit that. So I couldn't even go in to see her. So it was just a really bad time. So I just really want to focus on, making sure the seniors aren't forgotten. And that's kind of, like it was really evident with COVID is, I guess is my point that, when you leave them sitting by themselves for months and months and months on end, they had no one to talk to. They just, people just, they just fall apart and they die inside. So that's all really I had to say. But yeah, anyway, thanks for listening.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'm really sorry to hear about your mom also again. Yeah, it's a tough thing. A lot of people they are lonely and we just don't know it. So look around next time you take that walk on a nice sunny day. Look at some of those people that you haven't seen in a while. Give them a knock on the door. It will not hurt. Jennifer, thank you very much for your wonderful words. LaToya, please unmute yourself.
Hi, good evening, everyone. How are you?
Wonderful, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. And thank you, OnPassive. So I'm calling from Washington State, United States, and I'm professionally, I'm a licensed clinical social worker. And it was so interesting, Chris, as you were discussing some of the Mother Teresa quotes, I was hoping that you would read the quote that I actually have. One of my fellow social work colleagues, she was resigned and was leaving, and we were celebrating her, her progression to other things. And the beautiful soul that she is, she gave us each, the other social workers there, our own personal gifts. So she was leaving and she gave us gifts. And the gift that she gave me was the quote from Mother Teresa that's framed. It says, if you can't feed 100 people, then feed just one. And as a social worker, one of the things that we do is we advocate for the most vulnerable, most oppressed minorities on the planet. And we have impact in different areas, and we call it, there's 3 different areas. It's the micro level, like micro, M-I-C-R-O. There's a meso level practice of social work, and then there's a macro level of practice. And the awesome thing about being part of OnPassive as a social worker is that I now have the opportunity to practice as a social worker and do good work as an OnPassive founder in all 3 of those areas. So on the micro level, we talk about when we're intervening with people, as we're talking about today, on the individual level, with people, one person, groups, couples, families, but kind of small. You're making an impact, a very big impact for a particular group of people. And then with the meso level is what we're talking about with those NGOs. If we're involved providing support to those organizations that are already out there, that's a meso level practice because they have a wider reach than we do. So we're not just talking about an individual family, an individual person, an individual, say, group of homeless people. Now we're talking about supporting organizations that have a much further reach. And then on the macro level, that comes in when you're talking about changing laws, changing policies, impacting people on a more global scale, in the sense that you're making changes in the world that automatically filter down to everybody and improve their lives. So as part of OnPassive, me as a social worker doing this for almost 20 years and being able to amplify the work that I already do is amazing. And I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much. And I look forward to all the good work. Thank you.
Wonderful, Latoya. Thank you very much. Latoya, you said you were in social work for the last 20 years?
Yes, I started off back in 2000, well, almost 20 years, coming close. 2003, I got my degree and I started off working in a pediatric medical center. So all of my patients were 17 and younger, and I worked in the emergency room. So as a social worker working in the emergency room, my main focus was dealing with children who were coming in with trauma, abuse, neglect, and you also handled any patients who passed away for any particular reason. And then I worked there for quite a while, and then I went active duty as well. I went into a service that most people have never heard of, United States Public Health Service. And I did mental health treatment. I was active duty myself and also did mental health treatment with the Army and with the Navy. I'm a civilian now, doing my own practice, telehealth behavioral health practice. So not only do I get to just be able to do everything that I want to do as a social worker and just be the most well-rounded social worker I could possibly be, I also have a whole host of experience, knowledge, skills. I have a lot of connections because when I worked for the Army, I worked for a pretty big installation, and I actually am friends with the general's daughter. She's also a social worker. So not only do I have reach as an OnPassive founder, I also have reach as a social worker who's been working in the field for a while, does what Ash does, leverages opportunities and networks and brings people along. And so that's also given me the opportunity to have a lot of support in high places as well.
Latoya, have you filled out the form in the back office yet?
No, because I don't know what form you're referencing, Chris.
Okay. Do me a favor. If you go in the back office under updates, scroll down, look for Julie Wen. There's a form for, we'll call it the Angels List still. You fill that out, put your information in there, because we're going to need a lot of help with social workers, and seeing you have 20 years experience, we'd love to get your information on that list. And that goes.
Okay, so I'm in updates right now. Can you tell me where again within the screen where I'm going?
Go to updates and scroll down and look for Julie Wen.
Okay.
You've got a document. You're gonna have to go a little farther because I think she might have another post in there. And it's a
Gotcha.
document you're gonna fill out and get your name and information and what you do and stuff like that.
Okay, so I just looked for Julie. I'm scrolling now, but I'm also listening to my children have an argument. So I will definitely take a look at that.
Okay.
So thank you. So I'm looking for a form is what you're telling me. Just a form
Yeah,
to fill
it'd be
out.
just a fill out form. Thank you,
Okay,
Latoya. I
cool.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Go
Okay, I'm
get
out of
those
here,
kids.
guys. Have a good evening. Bye.
Bye. Gotta love the social workers coming out and all the nurses and everyone else. Miss, my beautiful Lily Lane. With a name like that, you can't go wrong. Lily, let's hear what you got.
Okay, Chris, thank you so much. I don't have much to say except that I've been impressed with the list that was presented tonight. You can tell that a lot of thought went into developing those different items because they cover a lot of areas. And as I was reading the list, I thought about there is a program here in Durham, North Carolina, where I am, called Gift of Knowledge Academy. And what it is a 501c3 program, nonprofit. And what they do is they take kids from kindergarten to second grade. And North Carolina Opportunity Scholarship gives X number of dollars toward the scholarship. And then the others are raised through contributions. And that's one of the things that I have been doing, is to providing, money to the process. Well, because what interests me about that is we have first grade students reading on a fourth grade level. you have kindergarten kids going in and reading after 6 months in the school. So that impressed me. And that's why I said earlier, I'm always into something, trying to do something. But I'm excited to be a part of this opportunity. And it may not be that, maybe something else on the list or whatever the angels decide, the direction we decide to go in, I'm there. Count me in, whatever. Thank you.
Thank you, Lily Lane. I'm looking forward to meeting you, by the way. Let me also explain something. Remember, this is not a competition. This is a group of massive amounts of people that are gonna help out. No idea or no solution is gonna go unnoticed, because what might not work in Michigan might work in Pennsylvania. What might not work in Pennsylvania, these are your ideas. So remember, we're not competing here, but we're competing, all right. We're competing to fix the world. And guess what? We got no competition if you think about it, because no one else seems to want to do anything about it. So just keep that in your brain. Lister T, Lily Lane, thank you again. Lister T, go ahead and unmute yourself, my beautiful sister.
Hello, everyone again. I have been listening and I love what I'm hearing. The people in the seniors' homes, I mean, my church that I used to attend before I moved to the country, where they've got these teeny little churches only. This was a big church. And every Easter and every Christmas, we would go and sing. We would sing for them and they loved it. They would jump off their wheelchairs or whatever, and they would dance to the Christmas carols. It was so fulfilling. And after we were done, we would sit and talk to them because they were so lonely. We would sit there and talk to them and they would hold on to us, and we would be there for hours. And whenever we were leaving, they didn't want us to leave. They would just grab onto our arms and say, no, don't leave yet. Don't. That is how lonely they were. They just didn't want to be left alone. And that warmed our hearts. And as well, that church I was in, we did a collection of shoe boxes. We would fill those with crayons and toothpaste and little things to send to Africa every year, every Christmas. And that as well was so amazing. I miss all that, but I love the country where I am. But anyway, things like that. So with OBLESS, I can't wait to do something, anything that would help the people out there, the children, the elderly, whomever. And this is why I jumped on first, right away, because I want to be able to help, to do whatever. So wherever I'm needed, Chris, it's in your hands. Okay. I just want to do more, whatever, to help out there. If I have to move to the States, I'm coming. I hope you have a room in your house. I'm coming.
Lister, I like what you just said. I want to do more. I think that's pretty powerful in what you said there. I don't know if you realize you said it, but you said, I want to do more. That's pretty amazing. I think everyone on this panel and in the whole chat area wants to do more, and that's why you're here. Lister, I appreciate you. I think you're going to have quite a few jobs in Canada to do, but if I ever need help in Michigan, I will personally come pick you up and drive you back, fly you back, swim you back, boat you back, whatever it takes.
Hey, I don't have to come back. I can find somewhere over there to live. Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay. Now, in Latoya, I did have that written down. I just didn't get to it. So I kind of wish I would have said it now, but we got another hand up. Mr. Paul, go ahead, my brother. Unmute yourself.
Yes, hello everyone. It's a blessing to be here, And I'm one of those old people. I'm only 74, but not as old as Willow yet. But yeah, I live in the country, and I sort of am one of the lonely ones. I don't get visitors. But hey, besides that, I help a orphanage over in Uganda. They rely on crowdfunding, and I contribute to them $100 a month out of my government pension. So yeah, I like helping them because you know, they range in ages from about 3 up to about 18. So you know, anything that I can do, I like helping and like being there and you know, contributing to the part that I can. So we've got a good platform here, thanks to Mr. Ash, and OBLESS is going to change the world. I'm sure of that. Thank you all, and thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Paul, my New Zealand brother. Glad to hear it. There's another one that says, I want to do more. Paul, appreciate you. You don't look a day over 26 to me. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. If I have an opportunity, I'm going to come visit you. All right. We're going to make Miss, is it Carrie Young, our last hand up for the evening? And,
yes.
We'll close it off after that with a few nice words from me. And we'll let Miss, is it Carrie? Is it Carrie Young?
Kyrie.
Right? Kyrie, I apologize. Kyrie, beautiful name. Go ahead,
well,
Kyrie.
Thank you. I want to say good, great, and awesome God's Day to everybody. Chris, when you talked about helping someone in a pharmacy, that was me. I've done that before. Even though I could not give all the money, but I did give approximately half of it, and she was able to make the other half. But I have a strong desire to utilize OBLESS to financially assist hospitalized patients who have reached their insurance ceiling and has been denied life-threatening healthcare services. These patients has been denied for current healthcare services that could save their life, which impacts their and their family's welfare, which could lead them to poverty. I would use the social services within each hospital as a valid resource to connect the patients with my OBLESS donations. Because of the HIPAA Act, certain PII I cannot obtain. I will create a website that is on OnPassive with a map of the United States. Each patient would have been a recipient of OBLESS, and it would show on the website map with a dot, similar to our old founders' testimony websites. And this dot will entail just different information, maybe the patient's initials, the hospital name, the OBLESS amount, and the reason for. And this is to show accountability that whoever donated into my OBLESS project, they can see where the funds are going to. And this all started because in December of 2021, my best friend's husband was admitted to the hospital for his heart transplant. His roommate was in line for a heart transplant, but he was denied because of his insurance ceiling was maxed out. Wow. In the United States, people are denied healthcare services because they don't have enough financial assistance. And I was just in disbelief about this. And my heart just floored because I met him. When I went to go see him in the hospital, you know, you go in the hospital, you see somebody at the curtain, hello, you speak, and next thing you know, they're gone. And I was like, wow. But this effort is nothing small, and I foresee it growing enormously. And I come to you all founders because I would need assistance in this journey. I foresee 2 to 3 to 5 people in each time zone working with different hospitals and using social services to gain resources for them so that the OnPassive donation could be sent out through them and we can pay the hospital bill directly. And that's what I just wanted to say. But when you had talked about, when I had heard Key talk about his scholarship and you talking about helping somebody in the pharmacy, I said, okay, I can't sit on this any longer. Let me raise my hand. So that's what I did. Thank you.
Wonderful. Karina, did you fill out that form in the back office also?
Yes, I did.
Oh, good. Okay. We're going to need you. Keep that up. Actually, great ideas. You're right. Even in the good old USA, people get turned down for things they really need. And then I think about other countries that don't even have hospitals or doctors. So everything is going to help. Everything's going to turn around through OBLESS. Number one, before I close this out, I want to thank number one for Tarina. Love Grove. I kind of really like that. I'm stuck on that name, that Love Grove. That's cool.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, Jane, and was it Paulette, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Your great list. Keep going. I hope you connected with some people in here. Build it. Just keep adding to it. Remember, when we launch, but you can start things on your own by, it doesn't cost nothing to say good morning, or I'll buy anyone a cup of coffee, no matter what time it is. Little stuff makes big differences in people's lives, I believe. But I appreciate your list. I'm glad you brought it up. I think you got some really, some eyeballs opened up there on a way to do things. And I appreciate you for coming on here, Tarina Lovegrove. And is it Jane and Paulette, correct?
That's
Yes.
correct.
Okay. And I apologize for keeping up everyone's so late, but
Thank you.
I'm going to read you one more Mother Teresa quote and we're going to shut it down. I did thank Ling Nakamoto for helping me run the panel. Julie Went for helping me run the panel. My next week, Tuesday, is someone who's been waiting for a while and I've been putting her off for a reason. You know why that reason was? Because I know she got more done. Miss Runa from Papua New Guinea is not only just doing something about something, she's achieving it. And I can't wait to show you what she's actually done with a small group of hardworking people from PNG. So next Tuesday, I don't normally let it out, but I want to, because I know she's still on here and she's got to go. But next week, Runa will be talking about PNG. Marty DeGarmo, thanks again for live streaming. I know you went to bed because we got to be up at 5 a.m. Cannot tell you why, but we have to. Everyone that's on here, I appreciate you. But I want you to listen to this one more. I got all kind of Mother Teresa things here. I mean, after reading, listen, and another big one is read about Helen Keller. What another one individual went through and became and spread out. It's amazing things. We heard about her in the movies, or maybe we read a book about her. You don't really know her. Find out about these individuals. They will truly inspire you. That's 2 women that I just announced. There's thousands and thousands of more that you never heard about. Check into it. Bring yourself up. I've never been a reader, but my God, I can't stop reading lately. Okay? You will be picked up by people that maybe have been dead for many years, maybe did things because the history books didn't show about it or tell about it. Google some cool stuff, man. You can learn. So, you know, Ash always talks about the drops in the ocean. Together, we make an ocean. This is Mother Teresa. I was reading this today, and it was very interesting. If you don't know it, I'm going to read it to you. It says, we ourselves feel that what we are doing is just a drop in the ocean. Now, here it comes. But the ocean would be less because of that missing drop. Pretty powerful. In other words, each one of us that does nothing to help somebody out, we're not going to have an ocean left. The strength is helping people, coming together, no matter what. Listen, if you punch me in the nose, I'm going to be mad at you for a couple of days. Am I going to hate the whole world or the race? I will never do that. I'm only going to be mad at you for a few hours once the bleeding stops, because it's going to be sore. I'll be a little edgy. Just remember that. I will say this, and I'm not always allowed to talk about religion, but God says, turn the other cheek. All right. Getting hit in the face ain't so bad if it turns out to be a good thing. In other words, all of us here are going to get smacked, kicked, punched in a different kind of way because we believe in doing something good. All right. I'll take all the punches for you. I'll take all the kicks for you. I know John will take the punches and kicks for you. I know Helen de la Basside will take the punches and kicks for you. Keep going. All right. Helen Keller couldn't see. She couldn't hear. Look what she became. And let me tell you something. She had a lot of bruises until this amazing woman came into her life and showed her, you matter, you count. All right, let's get out there and start showing people that they matter, that they count. Very, very important through OBLESS. All right, I love every one of you. Thanks again for coming on here. We'll be back next Tuesday for Runa and Papua New Guinea. Please keep sending me your emails of ideas. If you don't know my email, just text me. Most of you are on my Facebook anyway, and I'll send it to you, and we'll get you on a Tuesday. But think big, but do small, and it all adds up. All right, guys. I love every one of you. Unmute yourselves. Give yourselves a good yeehaw, because you all did great. I love every one of you. Good night.
Thank you, Chris.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Hi, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
I'm gonna go riding.
Bye now.
Hello, Rupa.
Bye.